Come through. I've got we're going to be kind of jumpy because there's so much I want to tell y'all, and I have an hour, and we started late, but I'm going to cram this thing in. So tag and recognize your partners. On Facebook, when you start tagging people, you got to start with that @ sign, and then you got to select their name. If you still see that @ sign, you have not tagged them. Their name needs to be outlined in blue. If it's not, I like to say that talking about people on social media without tagging them is like calling them on the phone without dialing their number. Maybe they'll hear you, but probably not. If you want to talk about your partners, and that means tagging them. Same thing with Instagram and Twitter, but it's much simpler. You just have to know the handles. So this post is not tagged, and this one is. Make sure you're always tagging anybody you're trying to bring into the story. Do you need to tag Greg Abbott every time you talk about him? No, he's not our partners. But anybody that you're trying to engage with, you should be tagging, because otherwise they have no way to know. They can't lift you up. They can't be part of it. They don't know what's happening. Okay, this is like a little pet peeve of mine, so I always like to share it. Cross-posting is great. Auto-posting is bad. The difference? Cross-posting is where you take one piece of content and you post it on a bunch of different channels. Good. Auto-posting is where you take one piece of content and let that channel share it to other channels. Bad. And I know for a fact half of y'all do this because half of everyone does this. You share from one channel to another, and that's Facebook to Instagram or vice versa. There's a reason not to do it, and I'm going to show you why very quickly. So I'm just going to show you some very quick auto-posting fails. This is an old one and a crappy one, right? Drudge Report. Anybody remember this guy? Look at all these posts. Clearly, every time he puts something on his blog, it auto-tweets. What is he auto-tweeting? Garbage. It's gibberish, right? If he wants me to see what he's on his post, tell me something that I want to see. Here's a musician I very much like, who has social I very much don't like. This looks like a press release to me. If you can't see it, it's just a series of announcements that he put on Twitter. This ain't bringing anybody into his story. If anything, it's losing him followers. Clearly, he put a bunch of dates into this program called Bands in Town, and they just regurgitated out this garbage, right? He'd be better off not posting than posting this, but he'd be much better off telling a story about each of those shows. Tell me about the food he's going to eat in that town, the band that's opening for him, the amazing time he had there last year. There is a story in everything you do, and if you can't find it, try harder. There is always a story to tell. If there's not, what are we doing here? This one I like is a great example of somebody breaking 2 rules. They posted to Facebook, it went straight to Twitter. That looks like it's going to give me a virus on my computer. There is no chance I'm clicking that. There's no chance anybody's clicking that. He's just wasting his damn time and yours. Here's another one that ends in a ... But here's my favorite. Don't be like Ted Cruz. Never be like Ted Cruz. Always never be like Ted Cruz. What's wrong with this post? I know it's probably hard to see. Yeah, well, exactly, right? But also, the guy's a freaking senator, and he's got a broken tag on his post because he posted it on Instagram and it auto-posted to Facebook. And I guarantee you half the people in this room have done it. No shame. As long as you're not like Ted Cruz in any other way, you're still good in my book. But never do it again because it's broken. You wouldn't want an email with a broken link. You wouldn't want your website to have broken links. Don't let your Facebook posts have broken links. I wrote a blog post about my favorite scheduler that I use, and it's free to use for a certain set, and then at some point you have to pay. It's called Publer. I am obsessed with it. I wrote a blog post, 10 reasons why I love Publer. JoshClemens.com/Publer will teach you how to use it. One of the things I love about it, you can create the post once and then optimize it by channel so your tags are all correct. Or if the tweet is too long, you could turn it into a tweet thread. Or if the photo doesn't look right, you can rearrange it. It's like you make the post once and then you optimize it for every channel. I literally, when things are busy, I might post 500 pieces of content through Publer in a week, from my clients. When I say I love Publer, I mean I love Publer. Maybe a month, I don't know, but a lot of freaking content. Okay, who here is doing short form video? That's more hands than I expected and less than I want to see. A year from now, I want every hand to go up. If you're not doing short form video right now, it's hard to say you're even doing social media. For better or for worse, all of the algorithms want you to do short form video, and it is the only thing that they are prioritizing in the algorithm. If you are not paying money to put your content in front of people, which we'll talk about, the best possible opportunity for you to break through is short form video. If you had me in this same session 3 years ago, I would not have mentioned short form video. I would have been talking about Facebook Live. Facebook Live was the only way to break through. I'm not capricious. These channels are, and we have to keep up with them. They are telling us what they want to see, and it is our job to figure out how to feed those freaking beasts if we want to talk to our people. Short form video is the only true opportunity to break through in scale. I'm not talking, you can have posts go viral, but if you want to do it day after day after day, short form video has to be part of the strategy. Short form videos are all the rage. they get more views, shares, and engagement than anything else on every platform. It's like ridiculous how much every platform wants short form video. So I've got these stats. They don't really matter. What they essentially say is that marketers find that video freaking works, right? Like we can skip that. Like you believe me. I said it. I said it loudly enough that you all believe me. Okay. So updates. So what kind of stuff can you put in video? Updates from your community. Relevant news. Curate what's going on in the world and share it. It doesn't have to be about you. In fact, it shouldn't be about you. It should be about them. We'll talk about that later. Advice and how-tos. Teach people something. Like it's a brand thing, but like people love that stuff. If you make beer, I helped a candidate once, this was back in the Facebook Live days. He made his own beer. It's like, great, let's talk about that. Like it's Wisconsin. Let's talk about making beer. People love that stuff. Meet the candidate, family volunteers, of course. Personal news, if it's relevant, things like that. Everything has been TikTokified. I took the sound out of these videos, but I want to show you some videos. Look at this video. This is a gorgeous video. Your videos will not look like this. Your videos should not look like this. This was done in a $100,000 studio. This is great content. It ain't our content. Look at this content. This guy posts tennis shoes that are dirty. He sticks an iPhone in front of him and he cleans them. And he rakes in the views. People love this stuff. You do not need to have a $100,000 studio. You need to have an iPhone and a minute. That's literally what you need. This right here, Dan Osborne, I mentioned I was his digital director. There's no sound, but it's Halloween. And he says, hey, look at me. I'm running for governor or senator. And he runs. That post got so many likes and engagements. You cannot believe. The Republicans had to spend $3 million to stop this guy from becoming a senator in Nebraska because of shit like that, y'all. And then here's a screenshot of one of mine. I didn't bother to screen it because the whole thing's 10 seconds long, and that's what it looks like. Does this look like good content to you? Hell no. I posted that 2 weeks ago, and I got 10,000 views. 10,000 views. I post on TikTok almost every day. Some of my videos get 1,000. Some get 500,000. You never know, but I do it every day, and give or take. Give or take. This is literally 2 screenshots. The first one is just me saying this. Why? Why is this happening? And the second one is saying, oh, because they're making profit off of it. 10,000 views. Took me 25 seconds to make. Literally, 20, maybe 30. Like maybe that's not fair. 30 seconds. I had to take screenshots and go into the green screen section. The whole thing took me less than a minute, and I hit 10,000 people on TikTok. And I'm not a candidate. If I was a candidate, it'd be 100,000. Like that's, people want to see from candidates. I'm just some dude in their TikTok feed who talks about politics. Y'all are all more credible than me if you're running for office. Like literally, I say that with no humility. Like people want to hear from political campaigns. They want to find people that are trying to lead, that are leading, that they can trust. I am what they get in Wisconsin because nobody else in Wisconsin is willing to do it, but you all should be doing it instead. I wrote a blog post breaking down my findings for my first year on TikTok. And then after my second year on TikTok, I did a blog post and a podcast, because I do both, which you can find at bit.ly/jk-tiktok. The long version is, it's called, I've got nearly 5 million views on TikTok in a year. No dancing, no trends, no fancy editing. Here's what I've learned. And here's the gift to you. This came up earlier in the last session. The better the video looks, in my experience, the worse it performs. Now, I said that's a gift. Why? Because if you had to edit every single video, there's no way I could post every day. But I post shit that looks like that thing I just showed you, and people love it. I work with a video, like I have a team that I work with, and I sometimes do these really fancy edited videos, and they bomb. Nobody wants to see it. They want to see content that looks like it came from their friends. And that is a gift to everyone who's willing to internalize that. It does not need to be glitzy. It does not need to look like a Netflix movie. If it looks like a Netflix movie, people are going to assume you're trying to sell them a car, and they're going to scroll past. They want to see content that looks like it came from their friends. And every single person in this room can do that. Every single person. If you have a smartphone, for sure, every person. If you don't, let's talk about your friends. Okay, so some video tips. Start with your hook, then build. I'm a storyteller. I want to start at the beginning of a story and work my way. You can't do it. If you don't tell them at the beginning why they should be listening, they ain't listening. You're going to lose them in the first half a second. So start with the end and work your way in. It's very Aaron Sorkin-esque, the way I think about this stuff. Don't go long just to go long. I've had videos blow up that were 10 seconds long, and I've had videos do great that were 5 minutes long. But the running through line is, anytime I am adding just to add, you're losing your audience. So if it takes 4 minutes to tell a story, tell that story. But if you can tell it in 30 seconds, even better. Be yourself. You do not need to be an expert to do video well. I know I've already said that, but it's so important. I'm going to say it again. But make sure your lighting and sound are okay. Your lighting and sound don't have to be professional. In fact, I don't want them to be. But if they're taking away from the video, that's a bad video, regardless of how good the content is. If you're standing next to a river or a highway, something has gone wrong. If you're sitting in the dark, something has gone wrong. And there is equipment to solve for both of those, or sit in your car. And people love videos of people sitting in their cars. Why? I don't know, man. People are so weird. We are so weird as a people, but it is what it is. Like, go sit in your car, turn off the radio, and talk. That will do better than if you're sitting next to a raging river. If you want to edit your videos before posting, which I do occasionally, minimally, there are a lot of tools, and I'm going to actually talk about some free tools y'all can use in general in a bit, but some of them you can use. iMovie comes free on every Apple computer. It's not very good, but it's free and it's there. Canva is not great for video, but getting better. Like, they do have an expanded toolkit. CapCut is much better on desktop than iMovie. I compare CapCut to iMovie, but easier to use and more powerful. Now, there's a lot of paid features on CapCut, but you can do a ton of stuff in CapCut for free. And if you haven't played around with CapCut, I highly recommend checking it out. Instagram Edits is a phenomenal new tool from Instagram. Like, it's literally called Edits, app from Instagram, and it's just a smartphone editing app. And you can like put things together, crop things. It's great. Like 10 minutes in there and you'll feel, I'm going to talk about it more in a bit. And then Veed.io, I'll talk about this one too. Veed.io is how you see people add those captions that are like dancing, like karaoke style. It's free to use for like a bunch of times a month. I don't even know the cap. I've never paid for it. And it's super easy. You can go in, edit them. You can make them your brand. Super easy. Veed.io. Okay. So other than short form video, what's some other types of content you can test? Short form video, like do short form video, right? Okay, but articles. I will be honest, links do very badly on every platform, but there are still ways to share articles. One thing that I do, I will take a screenshot of the article, post it, and then still put the link, assuming it's not Instagram, but then you're not posting a link, you're posting a photo that goes to the link. I'm not a lawyer, I'm sure as hell not your lawyer, but there shouldn't be any issues because you're being very clear about what you're sharing. I'm not saying that is going to do great on Instagram, but I do that stuff on Twitter and Facebook plenty, and sometimes on Instagram, and sometimes it does great. So screenshot or like the heading image. You can also make your own graphics sometimes if there's like a good pull quote from it. Photos, obviously, from the field, from the world, whatever. Screenshots of tweets. Everyone hates Twitter. Everyone loves screenshots of tweets. It is another weird quirk of being a human being in 2025. Take a screenshot of a tweet, whether it's yours or not, and I guarantee you it'll be in your top 10 posts of all time on Instagram. It's so weird. People love screenshots of tweets, so don't be afraid to use them. Short form video. Did we mention short form video? Okay. Stories on Instagram. If you're not taking advantage of stories, there's a whole audience in your stories that's not seeing your content on your feed, but is seeing your stories. If we don't know stories, ask me in the Q&A. I got too much to cover, but stories is the ephemeral content that disappears after 24 hours. Content not to post on social media. Press releases. Even the press don't really want to see your press releases. The people definitely don't want to see your press releases. That doesn't mean you can't share the takeaway from your press release. You just got to find a way to do it. I don't care how beautiful it looks. Ain't no one reading that. I guarantee nobody's reading your press release on Twitter. I know for a fact because I see the analytics on this stuff. Fundraising asks without content. Links without content. Anything without context. If you are sharing without telling people why, you are losing them. Do not tell me to, don't share an article and assume I'm going to get it. Not only is that bad, but you're missing a huge opportunity to determine how I think about that article. You read an article, you take the pull quote or sum it up for me. 99% of people who see that post won't click through. You can determine how they think about the story you want them to know about by how you share it on social. So tell them what's important in it. Tell them what's right. Tell them what's wrong. Tell them what matters. Tell them, use a pull quote, write something of your own. But sharing that takeaway is way more important than sharing the article because almost nobody's going to click through to the article, but a whole lot of people, hopefully, are going to see the post. Okay. Did you know that you can add any Instagram post to your story? We talked about whether you posted it or not, so long as it's public. So a private account you can't share. So just very quickly, if you go to your any Instagram post and you click that little airplane to share it like you would DM it to a friend, you can share it right into your stories. And it's just a really cool way to share. I do this all the time. Some of the best engagement I get on my personal Instagram account is from the stories I share from other people. So if you see something interesting, just share it. It doesn't have to be from you. That's the whole point. You are a trusted messenger. You don't have to, you're not a journalist. Nobody's expecting you to write every story. They're looking to you to help them understand the stories. You can also, you raised your hand about the stories, so I'll put you on the spot. Did you know that you can add any tweet to your Instagram stories? Based on a face, I think you did not. This is very easy to do and very powerful, just like with Instagram. So you go to any tweet, hopefully you can see that, and you click the share button right there. And then one of the options, Instagram stories, You drop it in and it works just like a sticker. It just shows up on your Instagram stories. And it'll work for any account you're logged into. So if you're like your own admin and the Mothers Against Greg Abbott account, whichever one you have logged in then is the one that's going to do it. So make sure you know which account you're using. Don't accidentally do this for your job when you're trying to do this for yourself. But it's a really cool way to like add content to your stories that, like, I'm telling you, some of the best engagement I get on my Instagram. I do so much content, and this is the stuff that like hits, like a random tweet or Instagram post that I share. Okay, and you can also add like stickers and emojis and all that fun stuff. Okay, 2 more Instagram tools that you should all be using. Raise your hand if you're on Instagram. Okay, Instagram. I have a very mixed relationship with Instagram, but at the end of the day, Instagram is an extremely important platform. I would not recommend you get on it if you're struggling to like also already do Facebook, but if you feel like you've got bandwidth, there is a huge opportunity on Instagram to be talking to people in real time. These are 2 tools you should be using, and I'm gonna ask for shows of hands if anybody's using them. Is anybody using Trial Reels? Yeah? Can you tell us about it? No, it's okay. I wanted to see if it's real, but I'm just kidding. Trial Reels are amazing, and they're brand new. Not everybody has them yet, but they're rolling them out. In theory, you have to have 1,000 followers, but I have this little like influencer account I started for my local town just for fun, and I don't have 1,000 followers, and I've used it. Trial Reels, what they do is they will show your content to people who don't follow you as a trial to see how it performs. And if it performs well, then you can go share it to everybody. But what you're doing is it's a freaking hack from Instagram saying, we'll go find new people to show your content to. Every time you have a reel that's not about you, but about like the world, you should start it as a trial reel. Worst case scenario, it bombs. Who cares? Share it to your audience and hopefully it does well. Best case scenario, you bring in new people. Huge opportunity. And to do it, you can see it here. Literally when you're posting, and again, you might not have this based on the size of your account, but literally there's just a little button. It's that simple. It just says trial, question mark. It doesn't have the question mark. I'm adding that, but you hit that button and then it's a trial. And then you just can monitor it and add it to your feed at any time, but you can see it. But if somebody else came to your page, they wouldn't see it on your page, but you'll see it in there and you could see the views. And I did one for my personal account that's not very big because I do this for clients more than myself. And it reached, I would say 100x my normal reel. Like this was not like a little bit better. This was crushing. Now, again, just like everything else, this stuff is a gift for a while and then it like less so. Like they want us to do it, so they incentivize it. Take advantage of it while you can. The other one, who here has invited collaborators on an Instagram post? So I am blowing up this little influence. I just started this account like 3 months ago. It's about my town. I'm just like obsessed with Madison, Wisconsin. And I started it and I'm doing these collaborator posts. In the last 3 months, I've had 70,000 views on my content. And I've spent maybe $100 on ads just trying to get things like rolling a bit. The vast majority of that came from collaborator posts. So folks have used these. So essentially, you know how you can tag people into a post on Instagram? So you can also, instead of tagging them, there's an option to invite them as a collaborator. And it works exactly the same as tagging, except if they accept, and they don't have to accept, if they accept, it becomes their post as well. It literally shows up on their timeline. It goes to their followers. So the other day, I shared a post about Madison's airport, and I tagged them as a collaborator, and they accepted, which is like kind of surreal. I'm like creating content for the airport now. But like it reached so many people because they have a huge following and I'm still growing. And it's like this huge, and I do this all the time. Not everybody accepts, but when they do, let me tell you, it can, like the right account accepting can be a rocket ship. It's wild. And if you're not taking advantage of that, huge opportunity to take advantage of it. Don't start like inviting Barack Obama to collaborate with you, but if it's like relevant and like, you know, like there's an opportunity. So like definitely take advantage of it. Okay. If we're not engaging on social media, we should just delete our accounts. We're actually doing more harm than good. The caveat being congressional and up. Then you should stop engaging. I mean, that's up to you. Congressional maybe, but Senate races, you can't be engaging. Like there's so many potential risks. But with a down ballot candidate, imagine if you walked up to somebody at the door and started talking to them and they asked a question and you turned around and walked away. That is literally what happens when you don't engage with people on social media. Social media is a two-way street. They are going to talk to you, and before they're going to vote for you, they are going to act like if they talk to you and you ignore them, they are going to remember. Like they know that. Just like if you walked up to them at the door and you walked away without letting them ask a question. If people ask a question or a comment, respond to it. If like, I'm not saying not everything warrants a full discussion. You cannot spend your whole day on Facebook. Like I know that better than anybody as somebody who spends his full day on Facebook. But you can absolutely engage people, at the very least a like or a simple answer. Set aside 20 minutes a day, 3 days a week, something. Find a way to make sure that you're going in and engaging people. because they will remember if you don't. You can bring them in and you can sure as hell put them away, which is why I say you're better off not posting, because if you're creating content and it's creating engagement and you're ignoring those folks, they are going to remember that. Think about yourself. Wouldn't you remember if somebody was running for office and you asked them a question and they ignored you? Like, who are you helping? So I like to use the example that you're a celebrity. Everybody who posts on socials, like a micro celebrity. And you can't stop and have coffee with everybody, but you can say, hey, which of these two stories, they're going to tell a story. Like either, oh, that person engaged with me, or, oh, that person ignored me. Which of those stories do you want them to tell to their friends? I just have this example in here quickly. Duolingo, for folks who know, is like the king of TikTok, right? But they're not just the king of content on TikTok. They're also the king of comments on TikTok. Like they're known as being like the first comment, the biggest comment on everything. Like they understand it at a high level. Now they also made some huge missteps and had to delete all their content because they're pro AI and fuck them. But like whatever, like they still show us how to do it. We still got to learn from the good guys and the less good guys, you know? I'm only dropping F-bombs here because Nancy did. Is this okay? Am I offending anybody? I don't know. I grew up in the South. We wouldn't talk like this, but it's Texas. Y'all, you drop F-bombs, right? Fuck yeah. Okay. All that said, do not engage with the trolls. This is a good place to drop F-bombs, I guess. But don't feed the trolls. Trolls are a huge waste of your time. I am not telling you to try to win them over. But differentiate between a hard question and a troll. There is a difference. Some people will ask hard questions and they want real answers, and some people are just assholes and move on with your day. And for those who didn't know this on Facebook, there's a huge difference between hiding a comment and deleting a comment. Anybody know the difference? When you hide a comment, they don't know that it's been hidden. And anybody who's friends with them doesn't know it's been hidden, which is why you can hide a comment and still see engagements on it. Him and their asshole friends can be talking to each other about you in your feed. You've muted the whole thing. Nobody's seeing it but them. Let them go to town. If you delete it and they come back, it's gone. It's not there. So that might lead to an awkward conversation. So personally, I hide liberally. I delete sparingly. I ban very sparingly. Not never, but like they really got to cross the line before I'm going to ban them. But you should absolutely do what you're comfortable with. And I'm not a lawyer. So talk to your lawyers about what you're allowed to do. Okay. If you are posting content on social and you are not checking your analytics, you are just throwing things at the wall and hoping for the best. You have no idea what works. Your audience is literally telling you what they want to see, and you're not listening to them if you're not checking your analytics, but hopefully you all are. So I like to joke that, or not joke, I like to say we have one job on social media. That job is to sell, share, engage, listen, and learn. Share is creating content, putting it out in the world. Engage is talking to the people. Listen, what's our competitor doing? What's our friends doing? What's the other organizations in the world doing? Learn is where we check our analytics and make sure that things are running smoothly. So Facebook calls analytics insights. So if you go to your business suite and then you go to your insights, there is a overwhelming amount of information in there. Has anybody been in there to their insights on Facebook? It's not really good on mobile. It's amazing though. And not only that, they will break this down for you for your Facebook and your Instagram account if they're connected. So you can see all kinds of things: age, gender, where they live, what city, what languages they speak. You can break down your posts by which one got the most likes, which one got the most views, which one got the most shares. It's wild how much free data they give you, because they understand that, again, this is not about like them being good people. This is about them understanding that if you're getting value from Facebook, you're going to spend more time on Facebook. So they're giving you the toolkit to be better at Facebook. And if you're not taking advantage of it, that's on you, right? You can literally see every post and break it down on any time frame. Like, and see, oh, our top 10 posts were all videos. That's very interesting. I didn't realize that. Josh actually knows something about social media, and I should be posting short form video every day, right? And then on Instagram, you can see all that in your business suite, but you can also see it right in the app. If you click that thing, it's called the hamburger menu. There's a ton of data in Instagram analytics as well, but you can go back and forth between the two. TikTok has good analytics. Twitter used to have halfway decent analytics, but now it's paywalled unless you're paying, which I don't. You don't have any analytics from Twitter beyond just like tweet by tweet, but there's a ton of info. You can even see, we talked about stories. They disappear after 24 hours. Did you know that stories actually live on forever in your archive? You can go back and see how well all of your stories over time performed. There's a ton of stuff waiting for you in there. I like to say about analytics, they don't give you the right answers. They give you the right questions. Oh, every time I do a post with my dog, it blows up. Well, they're not going to tell you why that happened, but I think you can figure that out. But sometimes it might be as simple as like, oh, anytime I post about this topic, it blows up. Like sometimes it's a little less obvious, but it's your job to figure out what's working and to learn from that and give the audience what they want. Okay, I'm going to give you guys some tools worth checking out. So the context here, Nancy saw me. That was some ridiculously high praise. I hope I met the bar. I don't know. But she saw me do a session called Free Digital Tools You Should Be Using But Probably Aren't at Netroots. And I did an hour of free digital tools. I've got just a handful of ones that I think y'all should check out. So we're not doing the full hour. Have me back next year and I'll do that. But this year, I'm just going to give you all a couple. First of all, who here has been to the Facebook ads library? Every active ad on Facebook right now is public in the ads library, and every political ad is public for 7 years. You can go see every ad Ted Cruz has run since 2018, or Greg Abbott, or Colin Allred, or anybody else, Dr. Caroline Salter. Any single person that's ever run an ad on Facebook with a political disclaimer, that ad lives on for 7 years in the ads library. Democrat, Republican, advocacy organizations, if it needed a disclaimer, it lives on. It is an amazing place to keep tabs what your competitors are doing, like what the Republicans or primary challengers, and also a great way to know, like, get inspiration for what was working. If you go in there, you can see, like, I took these screenshots a while back, but like as of 2022, 21, the Biden campaign had spent over $100 million in Facebook ads. You better believe they know more about Facebook ads than us, right? And there's a ton of data. You can see the ads. You can actually see age and gender and breakdown and targeting. There's a ton of information in there. Play around with it. Google has a comparable ad library. It's called the it's called adtransparency.google.com. That's how you find it. And it also will show you every political ad for this last 7 years. And you can see any ad that's been run, search, YouTube, whatever. It's all in there waiting for you to go see what they're up to. This is a great way for me to keep tabs on my opponents when I'm running campaigns. Mailbrew is just very quickly, I'm just like obsessed with this tool. It's a totally free tool. It's an email. You get it once a day, and you can subscribe to any subreddit you want, and it will give you the top hits from that subreddit. So I work campaigns all over the country. So I have all my Wisconsin subreddits in there, but like last year I worked a race in Texas and a race in Nebraska and a race in Iowa. So I had my subreddits coming to me. First thing every morning, I was able to see the top content. If you don't think that the story is happening on Reddit, you don't know Reddit. Reddit is where conversations are now happening in real time. It's progressives talking about progressivism in a way that we should all be paying attention to. It's also super overwhelming. Mailbrew is completely free and makes it super easy. You get a daily email telling you what you should be paying attention to. You should all sign up for Mailbrew like tomorrow. Like, it's amazing. I can't believe that they do this for free. I don't even understand it. They used to have a paid option. They got rid of it and it's just free. Like, I love it. Into Action is a really cool organization with a lot of resources. You might know their GIF library. Like, they give out free GIFs for stuff, but they also have this thing called the cultural calendar. It's got everything from MLK Day to Beyonce's birthday. It's just a really helpful way to know like what's going on culturally, politically, all sorts of things. Totally free to use. It's literally, you can add it to your Google Calendar. I wouldn't because it's a lot, but I just keep a bookmark and I go check it. You can scroll through it and see by day, by month, whatever. Yeah, so it's just like broken down. It's a Google Calendar. Mild.com is a free tool. There's some paid components to it, but I've never paid. And you can go see brands' emails. So if you're looking for inspiration for emails, it's mostly focused on like brands, like Target style brands, but there is some political stuff in there. So it can be a really good way to get inspiration. If you're like struggling to write an email, you can go in there. But if you want political emails, you can go to politicalemails.org. And you can see almost, I mean, they don't do down ballot stuff, but you can see every political email that's been written for years. And you can see a screenshot of it. You can see the HTML of it. It's wild. Like, they are just like archiving the hell out of this thing and keeping it there as a completely free service. Politicalemails.org. You can see every email that Ted Cruz has ever sent. It's wild. This is what it looks like. You can like see what the email looks like. Veed.io we talked about earlier. It's how people add those subtitles. Like, if you ever seen like the Jeff Jackson style video, I'm sure Jeff Jackson's not using Veed, but like you could be doing what Jeff Jackson does using Veed, and it's free to use for like at least a bunch of times a month. I've never hit the cap. Instagram edits we talked about. It's relatively new, super powerful. They actually have like a section in there. It's like where you can keep notes for yourself to like content ideas. I don't use it, but it's kind of cool. They actually have additional analytics in there beyond what you see in the feed. This is what the editor looks like. This is just a screenshot from their site. And one thing they have that is clutch is a teleprompter built in. They added that after the fact. So if you're ever looking for a teleprompter to better record video on your phone, Instagram Edits has you covered. Remember I told you that everybody loves screenshots of tweets? Well, instead of just taking a screenshot of a tweet, download this app. It's free. Remix, RMX-Remix. It's a completely free app. You take the URL of any public tweet, so it doesn't have to be yours. You tell it the background color And in 3 seconds, it will make you a graphic that you can download just like a photo and put it on Instagram or Facebook. So instead of having like that ugly screenshot that's like, oh, it's not really fitting formatting wise, Remix will just make it look good. And it's completely free and it takes like 10 seconds to do. Unsplash is a great place for photos if folks are looking for photos. I also have I'm flying through some of this stuff. I know like it's a lot. If you go to bit.ly/diverse-photos, I put together a resource of other places you could find photos that not all of the people there look like me. Publer we talked about earlier. You don't want to be like Ted Cruz. So I mentioned the optimization. So you click that button and then you can literally edit by each platform. You click that button and you can create a tweet thread. Love it. You can have up to 3 accounts for free. If you need more, you can pay for it. But I am like obsessed with Publer, like I mentioned. So there's my blog post, joshclemens.com/Publer. Okay. Remember who the hero of your story is. Hint, it's not you. It's your audience. You are not a superhero. You are a megaphone. It is not your job to make people think you can solve all their problems because nobody believes that you can solve all their problems. It is your job to find a way to bring them along to solve their own problems with you as part of their story. Nobody cares about you. They care about themselves. And it's your job to figure out a way to get them excited about your campaign in a way that helps them see themselves as part of the solution. It's not yes, I can. It's yes, we can, right? Use we language. Turn yourself into a team. Anytime I have a candidate send me a post that has the word I in it, I edit it. If I can avoid an I will always avoid an I. There's never there are exceptions, but very few. It should usually be we, us, we, not I. If you did something amazing, that's great, but you didn't do it alone. Talk about how excited and how honored and how privileged and how amazing it is that we were able to do this. It doesn't matter. You'll get the credit. Like people know who you are, like if they know who you are, but it's your job to make them feel like they were part of it. That's the whole point, right? Like we're doing this together. Talk about your shared vision for the future. Like it's not just about why you want to be in office. It's about what the future looks like for them. They are the ones struggling to pay for tomatoes. They are the ones struggling that USAID shut down and now the farms, it's not about you. It's about them. How do we make your story their story? I like to break up content for political campaigns into 2 buckets, stories and values. Stories content, things like endorsements, photos, videos from the field, promoting yard signs, asking for money or volunteers. It's a story. It's your story. It's things that are unique to you. Values content, on the other hand, are news updates, issues relevant to the community, holidays, things like that, community events. You should be sharing way more values posts than stories posts. And the very easy way to tell them, I'm not saying no stories, but I am saying that if all of your posts are stories posts, you have a problem because you've centered the campaign around yourself and you've forgotten that nobody except maybe your kids or your parents or your neighbors care about you. They care about themselves. So how do you tell the 2 apart? Stories content is exciting for you and your current supporters. Values content should speak to somebody who's never heard of you. Go back over your last 10 posts and honestly ask yourself, if I didn't know who I was, would I care about any of this? And if the answer is no, change it for the next 10 posts. Don't worry about the last 10. Social media is always moving. You don't have to go backwards, but evolve. Like make sure that your content moving forward hits where it needs to hit. Real quick, I'm going to give you all 3 rules for Facebook ads. I have a whole blog post on this. I'll give you the link right there. My 3 rules for Facebook ads. It's literally never too early to start running Facebook ads. I'm running Facebook ads right now for campaigns that are over a year out. We are doing, for one of my candidates, we're doing $3 a day. You would be amazed what $3 a day can do for a down ballot race on Meta. We are raising this guy's name ID in the district in ways that you would not believe for $3 a day. It's wild. You can do so much with so little on Meta if you start early, but you've got to test a ton of content. If you're just running one post over and over and over, you're actually pissing people off. It's got to be new, fresh content all the time. And again, I talk about all of this in this blog post. And constant reminder that you're not the hero of the story. So if the content's all about you, you've lost the thread. It's got to be about them. It's got to be about the community. It's got to be about the issues. It's got to be something relevant to them. Who here, anybody here use ActBlue? Anybody here know what a ref code is in ActBlue? So I saw a lot more hands for ActBlue than ref codes. If you don't know ref codes, you are doing ActBlue the hard way. The single most important tool in ActBlue, in my opinion, is the ref code. So check this out. If you create, once you're at your form, instead of just hitting share, like copying the link, hit promote. And there's 2 ways to do it, so I'm kind of showing it to you there. It's at the top if you're like looking at the form, or it's on the side if you're in the edit section. And when you hit promote, you can then add in a ref code. And you can literally add in anything you want. It could be, screw Ted Cruz. It could be the date. It could be Facebook post about. It could be literally anything. And then when you put it out into the world, this is what you see on the back end. You know exactly which post brought in money. I do this for my candidates all the time. It is amazing how many people give from Instagram, which doesn't have links. We use link in bio for Instagram. And it is amazing. I will do a post on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and the majority of the money often will come from Instagram. And it's like, well, damn, good to know. Like, okay, let's keep doing that. Now, again, you have to use a link in bio tool, which Publer actually has a free one if you'd like to try it. But you can also use a different tool. But I know exactly. I know, like this right here, this code means RC. That's Reverbal Communications. That's my company. This is the date, and that E is for email. 3 people gave $385 with 1 recurring on that email. But on that, like the day before or whatever, I don't know. Instagram, somebody gave $100, and Twitter, somebody gave $50. That is built in. It takes literally 4 seconds to do it. And if you're not doing it, huge missed opportunity to like know where the money's actually coming from. This is a rule we live with on every campaign I've ever worked. If it didn't happen on social media, it didn't really happen. If you're trying to figure out how to tell a story, just ask yourself, did this happen? Great. Tell about it. I had a candidate once tell me about this like amazing event he went to. I said, I manage your social. You did not do this event. This never happened. I have not seen it, so nobody has seen it. Like, I know for a fact that this is not real. Like, you need to send me content or it's not real. And it can be a hard thing. It's like a muscle you got to like learn. You got to take photos. You got to take video. Doesn't mean you have to be the star of it. You could just take photos and just talk about the event or whatever. But if you're not sharing about it, nobody knows you were there. I have a free resource. I'm a huge content guy, y'all. I have a ton of resources I'm going to give you now. And then again, you can have my whole deck. But if you go to joshclemens.com/tools for campaigns, I put together a free resource. It's not gated. Like, you could just literally go and look at it. And it's just got a list of resources that Democratic and progressive campaigns can use to build out their platform. It's just like a toolkit. joshclemens.com, tools for campaigns. I see photos. Okay, and then also about a year ago, I did a series of free digital trainings. I did a version of this one, but I also did a free Facebook Ads Manager training and a free email training, and those are all free. Those are protected. You can sign up here, bit.ly free digital trainings. Those are protected because I don't want Republicans to have access to them, but they're totally free. You just have to like you just have to like subscribe so that I can like make sure you're a Democrat. And then it's for any staffer, candidate, or potential staffer or candidate. So if you want to like watch me spend an hour doing this, but for Facebook ads, I got you. You could do it for free tomorrow. Well, Monday. Do this tomorrow. So if anybody wants my deck, just sign up here and I will send it to you shortly. joshclemens.com/prez. I will get this to you. I have 2 podcasts. I told y'all I'm a huge nerd for content. The first one is called Hello Merge Tag, where social media and politics intersect. My friend Britt right there was on talking about disinformation. Anat Shenker-Asuri was on talking about how to tell your story. Ben Wickler was on talking about what he learned running the Democratic Party of Wisconsin. I've had some really phenomenal people on there talking about the intersection of social and politics. They're also, all episodes are now on YouTube as well, like new ones. But you can find all eps at hellomergetag.com. or wherever you stream podcasts. This one, I don't do it as often, but there's a bunch of stuff there. It's called Step Up Your Social. All the episodes are short, 10 minutes or less, and they provide quick, actionable tips to take your digital marketing to the next level. You can listen to all eps at stepupyoursocial.com or wherever you stream podcasts. And I have a second newsletter, along with just like my regular one, called Free Digital Tools. Every 2 weeks, I send 2 free digital tools to your inbox. That's it. If you sign up for this, it will not get you into that. I respect your inbox. You have to sign up for both if you want both. You can find links to all of that stuff and a whole lot more at joshclemens.com/content. I am also super active on all the social platforms, and I would love to answer your questions now or then or whatever. Go fucking win back Texas. We're going to go win back Wisconsin. Thank you all so much for having me in.
Was I right? Yeah, he's a total badass, right?